realize that the world is full of cravens who pretend to be heroes.
Quiet, Moby. You know Throne of Kings is my favorite show. Oh, craven is another word for coward.
A mind needs books as a sword needs a whetstone if it is to keep its edge.
Yeah, I guess there are a lot of confusing words in this show. Dear Tim and Moby, what are context clues? My English teacher says they can help me improve my vocabulary, but I'm not sure what she's talking about. Help! From George. Well, George, when we talk about context, we're talking about something's surroundings. You know, like the setting or the backdrop. Take a look at this picture. Can you tell what's missing by looking at the context? Heck yeah, a baseball! You can do the same detective work with words. Let me grab my Throne of Kings books and I'll show you. Yes, I've read them all. That's why I appreciate the show on a much deeper level than you. Anyway, when you see a word you don't know, it's usually surrounded by words you do know. So look at those words and see if they can help you fill in the blank. Take this for example. After dinner, a group of mummers entertained the guests by acting out the story of an evil wizard. You probably don't know the word mummer, but look at what the author says. The mummers entertain people, and they act out stories. Can you think of another group of entertainers who act out stories? Right, actors. Mummers is an old-timey word for actors. Of course, there are different ways to look for context clues. Sometimes a mystery word can be defined by its antonyms or opposites. Take this passage. Unlike his genteel brother, Hubert displayed poor manners and crude behavior. The mystery word is genteel. From the context, we know that it's the opposite of someone who's crude and has bad manners. Right again. The word genteel describes someone who's classy and dignified, like that guy. You can also figure out a mystery word by looking for synonyms, or words that mean the same thing. Here, take this one. King Adenoid had married the comeliest woman in the realm, far lovelier and more beautiful than anyone in the 12 counties. Comeliest isn't a word we see too often, but let's take a closer look. First, it ends in the suffix est, like biggest, smartest, and richest. So the queen must be the best or most at something. But what? In the same sentence, it says she's lovelier and more beautiful than anyone else. Those are the synonyms we're looking for. She's the loveliest, most beautiful woman in the kingdom. Okay, just one more trick. Sometimes a mystery word will be surrounded by examples that can tip off its meaning. Check out this excerpt. Royalton City was filled with cathedrals, castles, and other huge edifices. Now, castles and cathedrals are both examples of big... Flying monkeys? No. They're buildings, Moby. A cathedral's a building, so's a castle. So edifices means buildings. That's true. Sometimes there just isn't enough context to figure a word out. When that happens, there's no shame in using a dictionary.
The thanes of these hibernal climes are mere vassals of the Iron Throne.